Hello, chat. How we looking here, camera? We doing okay here, camera? It's maybe a little to a little of the door, a little of the refrigerator. There we go. I increased the zoom on the camera a little bit. I think this is a little bit better. It's about 10% more zoom. Hey Kip, hey Will, how we doing, Ozzy? Yes, we have a whole new playlist here tonight of all sorts of different music from before. I think there's only one or two other songs on this list that are repeated on other playlists of mine. So please let me know if you hate anything, if you love anything. Love to hear any of that. Let's get some coffee going. How we doing, Cosmic? Rinse out our coffee filter. Almost out of coffee. I don't know if I have enough for tomorrow's morning brew. I was at the supermarket earlier today. I walked to the supermarket today. My legs are going to be probably killing me tomorrow. I did both squats and walking to the farmer's or to the supermarket today. And yeah, they had coffee, but they didn't have the ones that I wanted, and their prices are way too high at the one that I went to. I also couldn't find a decent T-bone, or T-bone steak. I was originally planning to do a T-bone steak. Guess I had to sub in a ribeye. Is that a horrible thing? Are you okay with that, chat? I hope you're okay with that, chat. Get myself some water here too. Hey, Jim Brescian. Welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Hey, Celadon. Almost done with the sugar cubes. Hope we can go back to sugar in the raw here soon. I got 6 pounds over there on the shelf just waiting to go. I'm just realizing I forgot to run the vacuum again. I intended to do that when I went to the market today. When I wasn't home and I didn't have to listen to it. I buy sugar in bulk when I can. I just bought a bunch of filters in bulk today. I bought another 6 packs of 100 pack, like the Hario filters. I'm back to using these smaller ones because they're what I have sitting around. They're sold in packs of 100, and I just bought 600 more of the larger size, number 2 size instead of the number 1, which is what I'm using right now. I need to go back to buying flour in bulk, but I've been lazy about that lately and been buying just bags of AP flour. It's the best way to do it with the things that aren't going to go bad anytime immediately. I mean, grains, rice. If you've got the time to cook beans from being dried beans, absolutely dried beans. A lot of this is how much time you want to put into these particular things, whether it's worth you to do it. For some people, it's worth it for them to make their own, soy milk and everything else under the sun, like I do somewhat close to the way I do my coffee. I mean, many people would just rather shoot a pod into a machine than what I do for coffee. I can respect that. Rather spend their time on other stuff. Doesn't mean they're going to have as good of a experience. Welcome in, everyone, and thank you for that resub, Man Reader. Greatly appreciate that. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Okay, what do we start with? I think I'm going to start with tortilla dough. So we'll get a bowl going here. And I actually think I'm going to try using wheat flour this time instead of, or not wheat flour, but bread flour. instead of my usual just straight AP flour for making these. And so this is a, do I want to do, yeah, let's do it this way. Debating how much I'm going to end up with here, how much I want to make. Lard. Yeah, I'm just kneading it. I'm pinching it in with the dough and trying to keep it all in space. I'm trying not to lose any big pieces of it, so it's all works down. I eventually lose it, but trying to work it all down into pea size or smaller, preferably much smaller bits of fat intermixed with our flour. Then we're going to add some hot water to this. Going to knead this is half of my dough here so far. I'm just going to make the flour part here and knead this to develop the gluten a little bit. Before I add my corn masa part to it, which won't have much structure. I sort of think this way it probably helps develop that gluten a bit quicker. dad joke making grain jokes while I'm talking about buying in bulk. Starting to get soft here, starting to get Play-Doh-y. Let that rest. And we'll come back with some corn. This is a white corn masa. It's also organic. Same process as with the flour, but with the masa now, but minus the kneading. I'll mix in a bit more lard. I'm going to do a bit less lard in with the corn. I went pretty heavy on the flour. A little more moisture. So that was a cup of masa and a half cup of, or roughly a half cup of warm water. Add in our flour. We'll bring this over the board again and give it a little bit more kneading, but mostly just to incorporate everything. Which also takes a little bit longer than probably seems. Still all digging the new tunes. I can't wait for these. I bought new earbuds today. They cost me a grand total of under $30 before tax. I don't know, maybe slightly over $30 with tax. To replace my current ones that are dying. I can hear things in my earbud, but it is so faint at this point. It is so died down. And I've tried my best to clean it, make sure it isn't being like clogged by anything. It's just getting quiet with age. But for $30 and a recommendation by New York Times, I'll give them a shot. I think we're just about there with kneading this full mixture of dough now. We'll let this rest a little bit more before we start pressing that all out. I'm going to live with that. Allow that to rest. All right, let's prep our sides here, starting with our beans. Continuing to use canned beans. My apologies to the dried bean fans out there. draining out the liquid in the can. Adding a bit of water in there to help thin it out. Because I want the beans, not the liquid. Black beans. The last of my jarred salsa from before. Add a bit of oil, sunflower oil, cooking oil, neutral flavor oil. Probably canola or corn oil would be your best. Corn oil would probably be your best choice to be most authentic here. Salt, pepper. Cumin and chili. Turn the flame on that. Touch of water with them too, so they don't just stick to the bottom. But we're hoping to cook most of that water out of this at the end. We don't want soggy bottom tacos. We got that. To take our... I do promise, chat, to make a proper salsa when we have proper tomatoes back. I'm just cheating because, you know, the only tomatoes you're going to find right now are hothouse. At least in the US, maybe imported. I'm just going to roll back that leaf there, and then steal this from underneath, and then wrap that back over the top like it didn't happen. So we still have that sort of somewhat messy outer leaf protecting everything else. Go back into the same plastic so that it's still in its natural habitat. Hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. Welcome in, Chef. While this is heating up here under a low flame, I'm going to go look a little bit closer at our cutting board while I cut this. I am thinking a little bit of a cross cut tonight, but I don't know if I want to go dice confetti at the same time here. So maybe we'll do something more like that. Oh, let's get our pan heating here too for our... Which do I do first? We'll do a our tortillas here first, but cilantro before tortillas, and tortillas then steak, then building tacos, and maybe an early finish to stream tonight. It is Tuesday. We do a little bit of I do tend to be a bit shorter on my streams on Tuesdays. But speaking of that, we have to figure out what's happening for dinner tomorrow. It looks like we have a clear winner here. I hope I can find myself some star fruit at the farm or at the supermarkets. One last view of the GIF. So tomorrow night, starfruit dinner and dessert. debating how much cilantro I need here for our tacos. Give our beans a little bit of a stir here. I'm planning to mash these a bit so that they're almost refried beans, but not quite. Again, like I said, we don't want soggy bottom tortilla or soggy bottom tacos. Mildly risky thing to do to wash your face while you're wearing a mic. Thankfully the power pack's down here in my pocket, but I mean, still. Water and batteries. Not always the best friends. Sometimes they're good friends. I mean, good lead acid battery often. I think that's probably enough comparing it to how much. Comparing it to our lettuce here, I think that's a good combo. I feel like I had a really productive day today. At the same time, I don't feel like I've done much. I'm not going super fine with this, especially since it's a little slippery and doesn't want to stay under direct control of my fingers here. Sorry, cilantro haters. Avert your eyes for another 30 seconds and we'll be done. I realize it's genetics. You didn't have a choice in this matter. Alright, back to tortillas here. Coffee. Good tonight. So over here on the left-hand side of the stove, I'm going to start heating up my pan here for cooking our tortillas. Put our tortilla dough just up here off the camera. Lettuce up here with our apples. Cilantro in the fridge. Excuse my cough. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Without My Grace. Thank you so much for that raid. How are y'all doing? Hello, I'm Jason. Cook here on stream 3-4 nights a week, generally 4+ nights a week actually. Trying out a new playlist tonight, so let me know what you think of the music. It's a little bit more, typically we're very laid back, jazz, blues, and so a little more upbeat, a little more electric tonight. Thank you so much for that raid. What were we doing before this? Where were we all coming from? I'm just about getting ready to squeeze out some tortillas here on my cutting board. I've made up a dough of roughly 50% flour, 50% masa, corn masa, white corn masa. And I'm going to be doing some ribeye steaks. I got nice ribeye here, and we'll break out the grill pan after we get these tortillas going. But that pan behind me is warming up quickly, so I want to get going with these tortillas. I did. This is a recent gift / acquisition. So it's a relatively new thing that I'm doing. I've been doing hand rolled flour tortillas for quite a while. No problem. I need to change that command so that it automatically does the Twitch shout out now too. Thank you for the follow. Curious what's coming up in the future here. The calendar down below. Tomorrow we just decided was going to be a dinner of using starfruit as my ingredient challenge. I do ingredient challenges on Wednesdays, and you can join into the Discord and vote. There's both a column to make your own suggestions for the ingredient challenge and one for the ones that are getting the most upvotes. And each week I'll have to use one for dinner and dessert. More of a how to use this ingredient in a different way, or use an ingredient that isn't really an ingredient as an ingredient. Let's make Jason use fermented fish or hot sauce or I did. Did go to the CIA. I loved it when I went. It is not the same school as when I did go, and I don't know how it is these days. I don't know how to compare it. I don't know how to say it fares. But I absolutely loved it when I went there. I would absolutely suggest the New York campus over any of the other CIA campuses. The other ones are much smaller. I haven't been to San Antonio or Singapore. I mean, but at the same time, the one here in Napa has grown. They've now got a second part to it here in Napa. It's still not even close. Like, the campus here in Napa, the Greystone campus, has a Master Chef level kitchen. Which, when I say Master Chef, I don't mean the silly TV show. I mean the actual certification. That the certification itself takes over a week. And that's if you don't have to retake sessions. And that's only one chance to retake certain. It's really tough test. And so it's a kitchen that can do just about anything. There is one of those at Greystone, from my memory. I don't know what they have in the new Copia development. I know there's a couple more kitchens there, but I think they're mostly demonstration kitchens. And there's a demonstration kitchen in Greystone. And then they have a restaurant. That's an amazing setup for, I mean, that by itself is an amazing, that blows most Le Cordon Bleus that I've seen and stuff like that out of the water. But that doesn't even come close to the New York campus. When you consider Master Chef type kitchens, the CIA has the one that in New York has the one that it's actually taken at, along with two others, roughly the same size. And then there's 30, I believe, teaching kitchens, maybe more. I counted them at one point. But there is a ridiculous amount of kitchens at that campus. And I don't know since COVID what's the current status, but 3 to 4 restaurants that are run by the students. I need to turn the pan off over here. You're getting too hot. I can smell you. I should have pressed these out first. So Valorant. I haven't gotten into Valorant at all, I apologize. I've watched some of it. In my youth, I spent some time doing some CS beta stuff, playing. We still digging the music? I take the wiggles as a good sign. Thank you for that, Ozzy. The auto one already went off, but yes. Appreciate that. It seems sort of delayed, though. I'm liking the way this dough is turning out with these tortillas this time around. Much like I did last time. I think this is the winner recipe here with this. I'm toying with slightly more flour and with bread flour instead of AP flour. But both the last one and this one, where it was 50% masa, 50% flour, roughly. I think that's the ticket. You get the tenderness from the flour, but the flavor from the corn. I added a couple new things to the plans here for upcoming here. We got some fun new stuff that I'm planning here in the next couple of days. I believe Friday? Gonna be doing some buttermilk fried chicken for the first time in a while. There's some other stuff I threw in the calendar. What else did I throw in the calendar earlier today? I know I did at least 2 of them. Yeah, we got buttermilk fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and roasted broccoli on Friday. Sunday I'm going to be chicken cordon bleu, but I'm going to do not traditional cordon bleu. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to do some better cheese and some better ham maybe, or different. I don't like most ham. And did I throw anything in there for Tuesday? No, I didn't quite get into anything in there for Tuesday yet. Oh, I just realized that maybe I should do cordon bleu, but better on Tuesday, because apparently Tuesday is, next Tuesday, not tonight, is Cordon Bleu Day, or National Cordon Bleu Day. Should I do it on Sunday or should I do it on Tuesday, chat? Ooh, chicken cordon bleu tacos. If we're doing everything tacos on Tuesday, which has been somewhat of the lately theme. Getting there, 2 or 3 left until we're done on forming our taco shells. Also, anyone new into chat, we have both this occasional dad joke floating in there, as just happened. And we also have the scramble, which are international words. They're not all English. There actually quite a few are not English, but they are loosely all related to food. So if you don't know what any of them are, give them a quick look up. They should be fun. Maybe learn something new. This one's just going to be a little bit larger. Our last one here. Might as well use it all up. Make sure heat's back on, going on in our pan over here for cooking them. Alright, there we go. Now we can start throwing these onto the pan. And because they have the flour in them, they actually hold up when I do that and they don't fall apart. Straight masa ones are tasty. I just don't like the texture, and I don't like, they want to fall apart until they're cooked. Even then they sort of want to fall apart. Don't choke on bags, kids. So convenient how that press just fits right underneath my monitor like that. So how's everyone's week starting out? Hopefully everyone's had a good start. Haven't heard anyone screaming that they can't stand life anymore. Not that we want that at all. Starting to bubble a little bit. I just want to make sure and get a little color before I finish up with it. There we go. Uh-oh. Better whip that dough starter back into shape. Let's see, what else did I do today? I bought myself new earbuds, like I said. I walked to the store. Oh, toyed around with finding AI editors for going over my old streams. I did find one that looks half promising. Unfortunately, they don't want to deal with files as large as my video files, even paying at their higher levels. And so I am unsure that that's going to work. I did toy around with it. It was sort of fun toying around with it. I had a 15-minute, the free version of it. About the most you can do is about a 15-minute video at 1080 editing. And I had a clip from some point when the stream had cut out, and it was just the finish of the stream, and it was only like a 15-minute clip or something like that. And going through that and knocking that down to like a 2-minute like YouTube-like video wasn't quick, but it wasn't exactly a painful experience. It's just like I said, I wish they could, like, they're not handling, I think the max size they're handling with you paying them $30, $60 a month, 60 if you're doing it monthly, 30 if you're doing it annually, is 6 gigabytes. And if you think about stream size, mine, some of them, they basically like start at 6 gigabytes for me. And like some of the really long ones are up there like 20. So while the system they have shows some promise, I don't know if I can use it or if it's going to be worth my time. Oh, and I made the playlist today that we're listening to. I'm always doing other stuff. What do I want the AI to do? I want it to cut down my videos, to get rid of cut the fat on my, I want them to take my 2-3 hour streams, 4 or even longer ones, and cut them down to just the important bits and be a quick format version. I mean, if it can cut out some nice clips and promotional stuff too, that'd be awesome, but primarily, I want it to be able to do that. And further on, for my own personal use, I want them to extract the information out. I want them to extract out the recipe, essentially, of what I'm making here on stream. I mean, that's the ultimate plan and goal of what I'm doing here, is I'm recording everything so that I have that in the future when we have these tools to be able to do stuff like that. I mean, everyone can sort of say, you know, we'll just hire an editor, but finding an editor that's actually interested in the project, finding one that's interested and actually good at it and has the right tools to do it, and whether it's worth their time. Excuse me, I try to mute my coughs, but Well, this one that I was toying with today will help pare it down, but like I said, it doesn't really work with file sizes as large as you need for doing streaming, at least of any level over 2 hours of streaming. You're going to have a video size that's too large for what they're doing. But it basically pared it down into like chapters after reading it, and sort of made its suggestions of which ones it should get rid of and which ones it should keep. And gives you the option to agree or disagree with it, or that sort of a thing, and then it goes through and renders the whole thing into a straight video. And furthermore, it gives you the option to go back and re-edit those, which is something that I've done in that 15-minute video. I've spent like 2 hours working on a 15-minute. This is really the problem for me with editing. I've probably spent 2 hours of my day, and granted, it's the first time I'm toying around with this, to do one video. Which, it's just not worth my time. It's not worth, someone's paid time. But that would be quite awesome if that would work here. Liking the spotting that I get on these. I didn't quite get the spotting. You sort of get it with the corn ones, but this like nice, almost leopard-like pattern compared to a cow on at least one side. You want my... This is... Put on your tinfoil hats. You want my take on it, chat? You want my take on it? Do I really want to tell chat this? We're getting into a trade war with China. And how are we going to fight on a financial level with China? We're going to have a depression of a level that hurts them much more with their very high population level than ours. And so these AI tools are things the government already had. They're just now being made public so that their impact is felt. Like I said, tinfoil hat. As I burn my tortilla. I mean, even when it comes to ChatGPT, these are things that they've had for several years. The version that's out to the public is 3-4 years old. Mm-hmm. Well, Microsoft just had a thing about how using their AI with their I forget the name of what they're calling their like version of AI that they're building into Office, but they've added that same like trademark name to defense or security along that line. And it sounds like they're planning to sell either security services or security software, probably security services, based off of AI to predict, these things are going to attack you. They're getting close enough, Caledon. I mean, if ChatGPT can go out there and TaskRabbit someone to do captchas for it, which apparently it has done, and knew to lie to them that it wasn't a computer, it was someone with a disability, so they would actually do it. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're saying is sort of the problem with some of this too, is because even though they've gone through and tried to prevent things from people from being able to do things such as that, they found that people are smart enough to reword things to make it sound much, because if you think about most of these security programs and security things, they're not necessarily sinister on their own. It's how they're used. And so you can tell it non-sinister ways of making these tools and then use them in sinister ways. It's sort of like I've been saying, for a while with ChatGPT, and I've said before for my opinion when it comes to GMO plants. It's a technology. There's bad uses, there's good uses. And I'm burning that tortilla because I completely forgot about it. Oh yeah, that one's burnt ski. That one's done for. I was gonna use my grill pan for this ribeye, but I'm sort of thinking using this pan right here, nice smoking hot. I'm thinking, yeah, let's keep going with you. And there was an interview I was watching with the CEO behind ChatGPT, where he was saying that, or was this Microsoft? One of the two was saying where they're finding more and more cases where something has been written by ChatGPT and been sent to someone else, and then that other person is using ChatGPT to interpret what the other person has written. So obviously, nice heavy dose of salt on our steak. Beyond that, I'm gonna not even do pepper until after we got a nice sear on that. Yeah, and now they're talking also about, like, not just ChatGPT reading ChatGPT, but yeah, Bard going after ChatGPT and vice versa. And ChatGPT also has the ability here, apparently, for people that are paying into the program and getting the advanced stuff. You can get, like, plugins and stuff like that, and you can get, like, some advanced stuff that isn't already baked in. Because it's smart enough to go off and pull something else and pull its results into what it's doing. And kick the fan on high here, folks. Hit this other side with salt now too. Turn the flame down just slightly. Right, let's see what we got. Speaking of AI and speaking of tweeting, I have an automatic going live tweet set up into my setup here. However, with today's announcement or rather today's cutoff, where they're not going to continue to recommend or promote tweets from those who are not paying members of Twitter, makes it sort of questionable if it's worth my time. As it stands right now, it's automatically sort of built in. I'm going to leave it, but unless any of you out there are following me or joining me because of my going live on Twitter posts, those may not continue depending on how much hassle it is to keep them going. I've posted in Discord and on my Twitter already, saying, well, hey, if they don't want to give me any discoverability, and if no one's using it, what's the point? Thank you, Tanik. Welcome, man. Happy to see you and Keladon and everyone else here. Yep, they're sort of like the co-op of news. Everyone shares into them. These days I just re-upped my subscription to New York Times, which New York Times being left-leaning central but also without question like the epitome of the food news source that you should be reading if you want to know what is going on as far as the leading food news in America. New York Times Food and Wine, hands down. Used to be every Wednesday. I don't know what it is currently. I just read their app. So I read New York Times. I have also a Wall Street Journal, which I sort of think of my right-leaning central news source. And there's a couple other smaller ones that I have from those, but nothing really, I don't think, worth mentioning. And then I read general stuff from all over the place, whether it's fed to me through Reddit feed or what have you. But yeah, I like a lot of the AP stuff, just basic from there. I like a lot of router stuff that's along the same lines, but more international. Or The Guardian. I used to read RT too when it was, available in the US. Full well realizing and reading it, that knowing that, half of this is Russian propaganda, but hey, I want to know what they're saying too. Heat off on that. I'll let that beauty rest. There we go, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to add a bit more water to these beans again. Maybe a quarter cup in there. I'm going to add a little water into there. I want all that steak flavor. Scrape that all up before it all evaporates, hopefully. Grab a hand towel. Move all that over here with our beans. We'll let that dry back out. Heat on our beans. And pull out our potato masher. Yeah, it's amazing how, I mean, you look at certain things in politics and they've just completely swapped sides. And not even that far along, but they've done it several times in history. At least in the US two-party system. So mashing up those beans a bit. Pinch more salt in there. Yeah. Just let that warm up a little bit and thin a bit out. I think in modern day, people's access to food knowledge is greater than ever, but the actual knowledge in the average person's knowledge and the average person's interest in food is approaching near or never low. Like, people do not care what they're putting in their mouth. It's fast, it's hot, tasty, salty, acidic. Okay, let's go. You know, they don't care, you know. And I'm somewhat in that same camp, but I mean, I would say more than ever have people been removed from the knowledge of what they're eating when it comes to, like, the average person has no clue of the actual horror when it comes to slaughter and production of meat. Just, it's illegal to make in the US, you know, freedom of speech, you know, you can't film it. Show me a slaughterhouse video that isn't some hidden expose thing that they snuck out. Thanks for hanging out, Keladon. Hope you got a good shift. So we're just waiting for this to cook down a little bit and to allow our steak to rest a moment after cooking. Yep, Tannic. Usually, yeah, it's which doesn't help the situation either. Usually there are these, like, shady expose videos that, you know, people don't put a ton of trust in, partly, you know, for good reason. But at the same time, they're the only videos that you're seeing. But that also goes towards, I mean, now more than ever, I think more people are eating packaged foods or prepared foods. The amount of people that are even just eating in a restaurant these days versus having it delivered to their door is a lot smaller. Well, population has grown, so it's probably about the same, but if we had kept the same population. Steak. Against the grain. Silly tasting. Cutting with the grain. Some of these fattier pieces will cut up a bit more so they get a bit more distributed. We want that fat in there, I just don't want it giant chunks of it. And I did find a ribeye with relatively small eye to it. I'm cutting this all down to size a little bit. Cut. There we go. That looks tasty to me. I think that's looking yummy. Yep. And we're not getting true statistics out of China and stuff like that, too. I think it's time we get going here with our taco making, though. And turn this fan back down low. Oops. So our not refried beans, our black beans and salsa. Oh, Daisy. Excuse me. Sour cream. And our garnish. Oops. Got my... So there we go, folks. We got some Ribeye Tacos. Hmm. Little photo time here. As always, photos will be up in the Discord. See who we got out there tonight to send all you lovely people off to hang out with. Okay, lovely folks, I am going to send you all off to go hang out with Diote. We'll start our raid here. He's a GTA RP streamer. No pixel streamer. I think he does. He's got really declining numbers lately, which is why I'm giving him a raid. He's got just under 100 people watching him. I think he does some great slow burn RP, like over days, weeks, months. I think he's a great guy to watch. He's going through a little bit of a reset, but so is sort of the server. So I hope you enjoy hanging out with them. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I will obviously be back here tomorrow. I hope I can find some starfruit so we can do a starfruit ingredient challenge. I think the odds are good that I can find something, but again, it's not prime season, so who knows? I really don't know if I can find it or not, but that is my plans for tomorrow. I hope you come back to join me for that. I hope you come back to join me for Friday for fried chicken, or either, I'm still not sure on this one, Sunday or Tuesday, cordon bleu, but not cordon bleu. I was planning to do Sunday, but Tuesday is actually National Cordon Bleu Day, so I don't know. Anyways, folks, I think you're all amazing for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you back soon. Good night, everyone.